So a lot of my introspection about life at this time, especially with all the loss and all the uncertainty and all the shifts that are going on, it's helped me really think about the emotions that are coming up. You know, what is this global energy? What is a personal energy that I'm feeling, and how does that relate to the global energy and what everyone else may or may not be feeling? And I know there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of, what ifs given the uncertain time. So the anxiety about the future, the what ifs are about the future. Anxiety is created about thinking about the future, and maybe some depression about the loss and the grief, and the magnitude of the loss of the old way of life, and how that's impacted us on so many levels, right? So depression is about thinking about things in the past. Anxiety is about the things that haven't happened in the future and worrying about them. And the gift of healing is within the present moment, just realizing that in this very moment, in this very millisecond and the one after it, there's not a lot to be worried about just in these moments. Yes, we have to think about the future and reflect about the past, but also within it, it's helped me extract throughout my life really the gifts and the tools that I've had through all the challenges of life to help me during these times. And I want to invite you to also look at your own life and how your own journey and how the ways that you have overcome every struggle, because I know every single one of you has had some struggle. There's no such thing as a struggle-free life. So just thinking about how did you overcome, previous times in your life that things were not certain. Maybe there's a breakup, maybe there was a job loss, maybe there was a loss of a loved one, loss of a pregnancy. I know that's been happening a lot to people close, or loss of the baby, untimely deaths, like all the other horrible ways that we've experienced grief. And as hard as that is, the expansion, the gift that has allowed you and me to have when we've had loss, when we've had struggle, when we've faced tough times, it's kind of forced us to kind of reevaluate life and really think, what are my priorities? What are the things that I want to spend my time and energy and resources on? What do I stand for, and how do I survive? So usually pain leads to a lot of psychic, conscious expansion, as well as spiritual. The path actually to the shift I'm finding more and more in my own journey and a lot of other people is that we find faith. We find our connection to the divine, and especially that divine that we feel connected to. It's on an energetic level, not on a rational, oh yeah, there's a God out there, or a creator or a source or whatever. Like, that's not like on the rational, logical level. It's on a felt level, on an energetically felt level. And I found the best way to get there is through, tuning in inside, right? And really feeling that, like, whether it's the colors or the vibrations or the inner music, the inner harmony, the rhythm that comes out when you kind of tune in, and you're like, oh, and then it's just like, it kind of expands. You're just like, whoa. And this feeling of peace and ease with whatever is in life, this acceptance and ease with it, and peace with it really comes when we tune in, right? And quiet the mind and tune in to ourselves, otherwise known as meditation. But there's so many forms of meditation. Sometimes some people find it, like my husband finds it in gardening or building things, but just good old-fashioned wood to nail and hammering things. He just finds the doing, the action, meditative. Walking in nature. Some people find that sitting in front of the water, just watching the waves roll in, roll out. Watching children play, your own kids, don't be a creep at the playgrounds if it's not your own kids, but just getting immersed in their world, which is so pure and innocent and playful, right? So any way that you can connect to that universal energy that connects us, and then clarity comes from that ease and that peace. Clarity of mind comes, clarity of next action steps, because each one of us plays a specific role in this human puzzle. You know what I mean? So I may be a counselor and hypnotherapist, so that I like to look at the inner goodness inside everyone, and I kind of see anything that's kind of behaviorally sidetracked, according to them or society or whatever. I relate it back to the clutter or the, tangents and the circumstances that have led them there. And my job through hypnosis and counseling is to help people connect, again, reconnecting to that inner goodness that I firmly, firmly believe there is within us. And having children of my own, now I realize that everybody obviously was a child, was a baby, born innocent. Yes, we may have soul contracts and other things that have led us to our destiny and purpose and all that in this lifetime, but there is that innocence and that purity that was there to begin with. And some people may argue that right now with the whole talks about like the other forms and the reptilians and the evil forces, and even for that I pray for both. I pray for healing to happen for the dark workers of the world, because there's a lot of dark workers, and the light workers, and I know the light workers are finding their voice more and more. And so anyway, the point being, connecting to our own inner light, easing ourselves into that peaceful space within you. You feel the shift. When you feel that ease kind of come over you, you might start to hum or some rhythm. That's when you know you're connected to that like universal energy that has like infinite potential. And then your mind, that's when you can actually ask your higher self any question that you have, like, what is my purpose? What do I do about my kids' homeschooling? What do I do about this relationship? What do I do about my career, my work, my friendship here, or this argument that I've had, or anything, right? It's when the mind is clear, we've connected to that peaceful place inside. You might see colors and ease. Then you know that you're connected, and so you ask the questions then. And then really tune in and listen, because the answers, for me at least, I know some other friends and people who've done this, initially the answers come as very subtle whispers, and then you start to listen, or they might come up as like visuals. You might see visions, but that's when you know that it's kind of coming from a wiser place, this place that might be connected from you to the wholeness, right? There's this saying that we have, well, in English I've kind of translated into through our aloneness, which means going inward and feeling that aloneness, we connect to the all oneness, right? And the two words aloneness and all oneness are all very similar, very closely linked, and there's an extra L, and I like to say that L is stands for love, right? And that love is what truly unites us with ourselves, and then from that unity with self, we can unite with everyone else. So I wanted to share that with you. Connect to your light within. Reflect on your journey in life. Look at the times that you've had adversity, you've had loss, how you've adjusted to uncertainty in the past. Draw those gifts out and try to adopt them to this more magnified, perhaps, form of change that's going on, and losses that we have. And any other questions really that you have, tune in. And if you'd like some support around this, I am happy to connect. So DM me, private message me, let me know, and I'm happy to jump on a call, connect with you, see if we can possibly work together, if it's a fit. I always put it out there that please bring me people that I love to work with and who love to work with me. You know what I mean? That so that there's this alignment between myself and anyone who comes into my life. So with that, I wish you love and light and connection to it. And let me know what you think of this video. I love to have feedback, as well as if you'd like to connect more personally, I'd happily connect with you. Take care. Bye.